Wait,
Serial cheater?
kaya ta, doon
Why?
ano? Wala po akong katanaw sa video to. Tanawan sa noto eh.
Ay, abi nang ate Kratsen. Tinuod na yun.
Kita, body!
Fake news.
This is body, how can we impostor?
Tinuod. Mo de hal game imposter sa Among Us.
Na siya XGF day? Wala ko ba?
Daghan daw. Daghan.
Time to watch it. Kaya tagi-expose. Na di mga evidence yun day. Kaya ta. O kaya ta siya kasi yung karir eh. Putang ina.
Maraming choices, JC.
Daghan mo nagkuhan sa...
The leaf is okay.
Then what if nothing? Just put on nothing.
The leaf is cute. Marag a hobby.
Whatever makes you happy, Harry.
What's up to? Tara, Kyoto 1 hour ni? Kyoto! Kita 1 hour ang video Kyoto wala ni god. Kaya panggubaay maning ako ano. Gisakto jug 1 hour ba Kyoto ni.
Change account again. Wrong account. Panood din 1 hour din. Are you sure?
Wala pa eh. Pwede ra, maminaw ra mo sa ko.
Wala ka mo separate yung audio sa Discord, Harry.
YouTube.
Patod mo UG itadalo ko.
Nag-download ko kuan, ako i-download nga preset man.
Nasa yun naman button sa OBS.
Ayo, YouTube.
Tapos yun ako alit to.
Uncomfortable about it. This was a post made on the subreddit r/.
I don't wanna get banned.
Saan dyan?
Unsa?
Pag separate sa Discord.
I can show you how later. Ato sa settings sa OBS. Go to OBS settings. Go to audio.
Audio niya. Saan?
Yeah, i-disable na ang kanang desktop audio. Just disable that. Disable the. Okay na lang mic. Apply na. So you shouldn't have desktop audio. Okay na. So whenever you run a game, you have to add the audio of the game and the capture of the game. So ato ka sa sources, right click ka dira. You add.
Ay, naram mo dayo? Kana, moro na akong gigamit. Application, naram dayo de. Moro na. Katong pinakataas.
Apa? Are you blind?
Ya, pangalan na.
I-name na. Example, i-name na Discord. Walang Discord audio. Discord. Nara, penguin. Okay. Ano na? See?
Interesting. You choose what the hell yung mahina audio mo sa mic.
Only your mic.
Wait. Hello? Mic check.
So when you run a game, you add
Hello, mic check.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I did not notice that you're here, Rebecca. I'm in YouTube because I will be with my friends, and TikTok is kinda sensitive with words. So yeah. That's why I'm YouTube right now. Okay, wait. Teka. Mahina pa din. Oh. Hello? Mic check? Hello? Mic check? Ayan, okay na. Okay, I think okay na. It's alright na. It is alright. Good enough. Sino ba to si Rebecca? Who are you in TikTok? Nasa YouTube ako kasi napaka-sensitive kasi ni TikTok eh. And I'm in the Discord and my friends might say some stuff that is offensive and stuff. Guess. Hmm. Mm, guess. Kote? Oh, Jet gonna say a slur. I'm not gonna say nor deny anything. But yeah, we all know what happens in first guess agad ah. Oh, nice. Okay, I was right. Hello? Mic check. Oh, wait. Why is it not? Browser. Oh, kaya pala na-muted pala yung Discord ko. Hello, Kote. Good evening. I'm just here. Maybe. Ano sa ginagawa ni mo, Hari? Ano sa ginagawa? Oh, how to raise an e-girl? Ace for CM13. Yeah, gonna try to run because I've been making a lot of grandparents. I did a decent one. Speed long though, but I'll cope with it because I'm tired making parents. I've been making parents
Specific window.
for a quite while right now.
Check the AD streamer overload. Where is it? Where is it?
Windows.
There.
Let it ride? Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna try to do this.
That. Oh, no,
I'm not
AD.
gonna
Audio.
I'm not gonna share the stream on Discord because yeah, whenever I stream on YouTube, it's gonna be something not good, especially with my Discord tips.
Barbie.
勉強か。さて。ほいほい。
Gusto mo na nag-edit wala lagi na yung reaction.
わ
Well,
お。
wala lagi na yung reaction.
この時間でしたか。
Si Ryle.
Ay, Ryle. Tangin na. No. Gusto. Hari, hari. Hari, hari.
Miloag na natin.
Sorry. Wala lagi na eh. Kuha lagi.
Wala.
Reaction.
オッケー。
Wow.
こんにちは。
Ow. Sige na yan ko.
Sa Game of Thrones din siya. Si Bronn.
Left-handed. Left-handed.
Na blueberry now, JC.
Blueberry.
Mata ano kuya, punta sa akong character, Blueberry.
わ
Character where?
オッケー
Ha?
Character where?
Katong pebble ba?
Um,
Unsa siya, unsa na? Yung guess, Blueberry.
Kanang mga VTuber ba na sila software ginagamit dyan?
ね
yeah,
Live
oh,
2D.
like 2D.
えなんかたまには
For most people.
オ
I
ッケ
think
ー
nagana man diba sila like 2D. So most likely na.
Use. 仕方ないな
Oh my god! How are you?
ねえと勉強か
I like the sound of that.
なんか体ねえ勉強か
Oh god. Oh god, I'm dead.
焦らずほい
Hey,
ほ
you
い
bought the skin? Oh, never mind, you didn't buy the skin.
Neat, I got a
the
decent bird for
main
next
skin.
CM. 7
The main skin.
starter for Falco. That's nice.
注目の一番人気
想定より大きな歓声だったかな
Yung Bourbon, di ba? Ayaw mo nung the Bourbon, yung may maraming turf. Di ba may Bourbon tayong nakita?
本日は何を交換しますかありがとうねえトレーナーさん無理は禁物なんさあ勉強か
That'll be you.
あ勉強か
注目の一番人気
想定より大きな歓声
Ay, sin... Ahem. Di mo gagamitin, Kote, yung nakita nating Bourbon na may maraming turf?
ねえお疲れ様ですトレーナーさん本日はねありがとうございます大切に使ってくだまここは負けられ想定より大きな歓声だったかな
Blah 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 blah.
注目の想定より大きな歓声だったかな。
Bro. Yeah, run yun. Prepare for Falcon most likely unless may mahanap akong better. I think it...
お疲れ様
Okay.
ですトレーナーさん。
You need your own Seion, right?
しますか？
So Seion Bourbon. Oh, nice. Neat.
ありがとうございます。大切に使ってくださいね。さすが。わあ？
注目の一番人気
想定より大きな歓声だったかな。たまには真面目に走ろっかな。自転車でなんてたまにはいい。
Okay, same parent. I see. Nice max already. We go with here.
勉強か。
Go power here.
ここは負けられない一番人気。想定より大きな歓声だったかな。
Very serious. It's not
お疲れ
negotiable.
様ですトレーナー
Very
さん。本日は何を交換しますか？
this one.
ありがとう。
ここは負けられない
なんと晴れやかな結果に。おっと。ね。お疲れ様ですトレーナーさん。本日は何を交換しますか？ありがとうございます。大切に使ってくださいね。 なんか体がレースか。ちょっとお疲れ。
This is my last barrow.
ここは負けられない。
It's fine if it fails.
なんと晴れやかな結果に。おっと。
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch something while I'm playing. I just wanna chill right now, you know? Thing, it's fine. Where's Google? Interesting. How do I do this? Kinda hard in OBS. It's been a while since I've streamed in OBS, huh? Oh, okay, there we go. Remove that because we don't need it. Well, this as well. Oh, there we go. Gonna put it here. Gonna listen to this.
Recently become obsessed with a male streamer and I feel really uncomfortable about it. This was a post made on the subreddit r/relationship advice
I
around
don't-
the end of 2020. What was particularly shocking here is that barely just a few days after making that initial post, he ended up breaking up with his girlfriend. Her obsession with that streamer was that irrational. And during that time, she wasn't the only one who might have felt this way.
I'm gonna read comments in my phone.
Known for was his gameplay of Among Us with his friends, who happened to be very big content creators as well. Not only would he get tens of thousands of concurrent viewers on Twitch, but he would get millions upon millions of views on his YouTube channel as well. And while his rise to fame is definitely incredibly impressive, what was truly unparalleled here is his extremely high ratio of female viewers, confirmed to having been higher than any of his other content creator friends. His handsome look, his anime sounding voice, and his witty jokes made women go rabid. In fact, there was also a joke that he would turn male fans gay. But what made him really desirable is just how socially awkward he was. He was innocent in an endearing way. He was a boy failure that needed a woman to fix him. In a nutshell, he was this picture, almost allergic to other women. He just couldn't handle anything romantic. He would get too flustered. This made many of his fans want to be the one to finally fix him. But make no mistake here. This was all a perfectly crafted image that he had made for himself. He wanted you to think that he was innocent, naive, a boy failure, someone who's inexperienced in relationships and would never hurt a fly. Because in reality, behind this mirage, this illusion, there was a master manipulator, a serial cheater, and a predator. Someone who would make it a point for many years to target smaller content creators, take full advantage of the fact that he was one of the most desirable men in the streaming world, all while making it seem like he had no experience with women and that it just might be romantic. They just might be that special someone who can fix him. What he would somehow forget to tell them, though, is that he had been in a monogamous relationship since 2021. But you don't have to take my word for it, because he admits to everything in a recorded voice call with the victim herself. And on top of that, that same victim, who goes by the name of Hemamal VT, would choose to write a Google Doc that shows the entire timeline, her and Saikuno's DMs together, as well as the DMs of another victim that actually slept with Saikuno while being totally oblivious to the fact that he has been in a relationship since 2021. This might be one of the most impactful and longest running lies in content creation history. I want to thank the two victims in question for trusting me with this very heavy topic and for allowing me to make the first comprehensive video on it. So without further ado, let's get right into this mess. Alright, so first off, who the hell is Sykkuno? Well, before starting his streaming career, he actually used to be a software engineer working in the Bay Area of California. His monotonous office life would change forever though when he would meet Lily Pichu, a well-known content creator who actually started making content as far back as 2012. However, when they met, she was far from being the very well-known content creator that we know today. It was back during the Season 3 World Championship for League of Legends during the year of 2013, so barely a year into her content creator journey. Sykkuno would be aware of her content. He'd reach out to her and would want to meet her, seeing that they're both at the same place. Lily Pichu agreed, thinking, oh, am I about to meet a fan? That's awesome. She'd be absolutely shocked when that fan would show up with a massive bouquet of flowers. As she was about to thank him, he would run away back to his cousins. According to him, these were his only friends at the time. He was that lonely. He was simply too embarrassed to interact with her further. This interaction left a good impression on Lily Pichu, and they kept in touch for years to come. In fact, as she would start her streaming journey, she'd play with her friends, and one of those friends would be Sykkuno. Her viewers would start to express interest in him, especially seeing that his voice sounded like an anime character. There was genuine demand in her community to know what he looked like. What they didn't know though was that Lily Pichu had already shown him. He was there with her when she went to Summoners Con 2015, and he was right there with her in her vlog. But most of her community were simply not aware of this. So seeing that there was growing demand to see what he looked like, they decided to do a face reveal live on Lily Pichu's stream around the year of 2019.
Yeah. You're such a oh, okay, here we go. Wait, you're actually so much braver than I thought.
Only because you're here.
Alright, I'm ending stream.
And as you can see, the chat was definitely not disappointed. In fact, Lily Pichu had such an impact on Sykkuno that she would be, well, the main reason why he would start streaming. And you can hear him say that himself.
So what convinced you to start streaming?
Okay, nothing.
Lily actually.
And speaking of streaming, he would start doing so shortly after revealing his face on Lily Pichu's stream. He'd start at the beginning of 2019 with barely under 100 viewers, but as the months would go by, he would start to get very rapid growth. He would really start putting in serious hours by August 2019, and within just 1 year, by August 2020, he'd be sitting at 8,000 average viewers, reaching a peak of 15,000. But how? Why? Well, during his streams, he would continue playing with Lily Pichu. And seeing that Lily Pichu has a lot of big content creators that she calls friends, she would introduce them to Sykkuno. It turned out that this guy was very easy to talk to. He was witty, he made jokes, and the communities of the many streamers actually enjoyed his company. All of these factors combined would be the perfect catalyst for when the quarantine season of COVID-19 would arrive. He would start to play the game Among Us with some of the biggest content creators on the planet, and within just 4 months, he would go from 8,000 average viewers all the way up to 50,000 average viewers, peaking at 100,000 viewers in one stream. He was gaining 500,000 followers every single month. In just the span of like a year and a half, he had gone from being a mid-tier streamer to one of the biggest on the entire platform. It wasn't just Twitch though. He would be getting millions upon millions of views on his YouTube videos as well. He was killing it on every single platform he was on. And so by 2022, when YouTube was aggressively recruiting Twitch streamers to stream on their platforms instead, offering them multi-million-dollar deals, they targeted Sykkuno, seeing that he's extremely brand friendly, has a very loyal audience, and had become a household name in such a short time. So on May 2nd, 2022, he would announce to the world that he was moving to YouTube on a 2-year exclusive contract. And as you can tell by the engagement, this post went viral. What I really want you to understand though is just how valuable he was seen by companies and platforms. Back when YouTube was aggressively recruiting talents that were on Twitch, Twitch and their confidence and hubris, seeing that they completely dominated the streaming scene at the time, would never bother offering a counteroffer. On the very rare occasion that they did, it was a very big deal, and guess what? They made an exception to Sykkuno. They gave him a counteroffer higher than YouTube. Sykkuno would go back to YouTube and show them Twitch's new offer, and YouTube would offer to pay even more. His contract alone is estimated to be around $5 million. Sykkuno, though, also had interests in other communities, such as VTubers. In 2023, for an April Fool's joke, he would debut his first VTuber model, extending his reach to a new niche community. The reason why I'm mentioning this is because at some point he was invited to a call with the Senator Bernie Sanders alongside Valkyrae and Pokimane. And instead of showing his face, he chose to be a VTuber. This was so ridiculous and it went so viral that he inadvertently kind of became a spokesperson for VTubing in one stream. I mean, God, everyone wanted a piece of that guy. You would see him everywhere, collabing with everyone. And this was partly due to his very loyal and almost rabid fan base. But it was, of course, all by design. You see, back in 2023, Pokimane would make the very interesting revelation that Sykkuno had the highest female demographic fan base compared to any other streamer, her included. She would compare his level of fame and the way his fans acted towards him to K-pop idols. He simply wasn't seen like the run-of-the-mill Twitch streamer. No, there was definitely more to this. And one of the main reasons why this worked out so well is because he was seen as a boy failure. No, not the kind of guy who's unemployed and lives in a dump and smells like shit. I'm talking about the ideal boy failure. The guy who's handsome, smells nice, doesn't live in a dump, but is instead just a hopeless romantic. Someone who turns all red when you want to initiate physical contact. The most innocent, naive soul imaginable. The appeal of a boy failure isn't necessarily that he's a failure. It's the fact that he's perfect, but just needs one person to fix him. And that's how a significant chunk of his fan base felt.
You don't know what an AI work management platform is?
Stop with the ads.
Yikes. Here's 3 new AI.
If you've watched my channel before, then it's not too different from a girl failure that has a male audience that wants to fix her. It's the same parasocial mess. This can be very easily seen in some of the most viral fan-made videos of Sykkuno, like this one for example, setting at over 3 million views. Sykkuno tells his trauma about girls. Sykkuno trusts his friend, Disguised Toast, more than the girls. So this guy had barely any romantic experience, and yet still, he had his heart broken. He needs a woman that will fix him and tell him it'll be okay. And maybe she'll be one of his fans. If only he knew how handsome and amazingly desirable he was though. Because he's another fan-made video. Everyone's simping for Sykkuno because who doesn't? I mean, God, if only he wasn't a boy failure and understood how smooth he was with women. But he's too naive. Because guess what? This video, sitting at over 4 million views, is titled Sykkuno being smooth with girls for 14 minutes. Yeah, I think you get the point by now, right? This image of him that was so carefully crafted would attract a very large female audience. It would also allow him to be one of the only male streamers to constantly be able to hang out with a majoritarily female friend group without him or them getting in trouble with their fan bases due to jealousy. The guy was innocent, allergic to love, and he wouldn't hurt a single fly. This allowed him to do things that other male content creators could never do. Like, dude, this is him sniffing the armpit of Fuslie at some point during a podcast when they were talking about body odor. This is how much he was trusted around women. And even though his audience was very obsessed over him, they saw him as so awkward, so incapable of understanding what love or social cues mean that this was fine. They didn't mind, because they were going to be the ones to fix him anyway. So it comes as no surprise that yes, some relationships literally ended over the girl's obsession over him. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if some gay relationships ended because of the same reason too. He was just that much of a sensation, and that crafted image he built around himself was just so believable and convincing. And so he'd keep on doing what he's always done, and after his 2-year contract with YouTube would finally end, during May 2024, he would make his grand comeback to Twitch, peaking at over 26,000 viewers. However, his viewer count would slowly begin to drift. And by April 2026, he'd be sitting at 1,665 average viewers, a far cry from the peak of the pandemic back at 50,000. He'd also stopped collabing with larger content creators as much as he used to, mostly sticking to himself. But hell, I mean, 1,600 average viewers is still very easy to make a living off of. He had made his millions of dollars, had this incredibly obsessive fan base. As far as content creator careers go, this really wasn't so bad. The guy was a multimillionaire. What people weren't aware of though, is that for many years since becoming a viral sensation, he would use his status as Sykkuno, as the most desirable streamer imaginable, as this K-pop idol, to pursue relationships with smaller or up-and-coming content creators, whether they be cosplayers or VTubers, manipulating them into thinking that they were special, all in the hopes of hooking up with them and while being in a monogamous relationship. This is the real Sykkuno. And now we finally have proof. Hemamal VT, who I'll refer to as Mal from now on, is someone who has been making content for the last year. She occasionally streams from time to time, but also tends to post cosplays on her Twitter profile, some of them being revealing. Those revealing cosplays would catch Saikuno's attention, and he'd follow her on Valentine's Day of 2026. Within barely a few days, he would start talking about how they should move in together into the same house, all while having a girlfriend. When Mal would find out about the girlfriend, she would decide to write a Google document. The Google document would contain Mal's side of the story as well as Elfie Leah's side of the story. Another VTuber who, of course, also posts cosplays from time to time, which is why Saikuno was interested in her to begin with. She also had no idea that Saikuno had a girlfriend and would meet up with him during December 2025 in Paris when he would travel for a convention. Unlike Mal, though, she would actually end up sleeping with Saikuno, again, completely oblivious that he has a girlfriend. They would both share their stories and the DMs with Saikuno in the Google document. This document would be 32 pages long, and it would detail both of their experiences with Saikuno, leading up to the revelation of the fact that he has a girlfriend, as well as a link to the full 17-minute YouTube video in which Mal would confront Saikuno about cheating on his girlfriend with her. Here's how it would start off. On Valentine's Day of this year, I was followed on Twitter by Saikuno. I thought it was amazing that such a big content creator even knew I existed, let alone followed me on social media. He had been my role model, and someone I looked up to for a long time, ever since my days in high school. However, what I learned about Saikuno after that day would make me regret my decision. Saikuno is not the kind, soft-spoken character you see on stream. He is a serial cheater, liar, and manipulator who uses his status to get what he wants from as many women as possible. More specifically, ones who are smaller or up-and-coming content creators, knowing that he can take advantage of them. After confiding in many others that have had similar experiences with Saikuno, I realized that this was not an isolated incident. In fact, it was something that had been going on for multiple years. He always made sure to cover his tracks and never left a paper trail significant enough for someone to make this public. But now, this has all changed. These are serious allegations, and I fully understand that this should not be treated lightly. I urge all other content creators who have been personally affected by Saikuno's behavior to not remain silent, as I believe that there is strength in numbers. This document will not only include proof from me, but from another victim who has given me her consent as well. Below, you will find evidence that will expose this calculated pattern of love bombing and manipulation, as well as a recording of a voice call where he explicitly admits to all his wrongdoings, everything. Alright, so already this is one hell of an intro to the document, right? One thing I want to point out is the urging of all other content creators who have been personally affected by Saikuno to come out about this. As I had already mentioned, there are many people who were affected by his actions throughout the years. In fact, if Saikuno traveled to any expo or convention or event, then you can bet a hefty sum of money that he always had someone there who he flew out, hoping that he could bring them to his hotel room. Anyway, the next section of the document would be titled, Our First Conversation. After Valentine's Day, I was so excited about him following me that I told a friend who then urged me to strike up a conversation. I finally worked up the courage to send him a DM, and he replied right away. So here we can see on the 15th of February, Mal would send, "Are you still looking for a Valentine's date perhaps?" To which Saikuno would say, so innocently, "What? You can't just open up with something like that? And besides, Valentine's Day is almost over where I'm from already." To which she would reply with, "I mean, we can always do a Valentine's Day do-over, you know?" In the same first conversation, he brought up what kind of games he liked to play and invited me to play with him after a convention. On the left image, we can see them discussing sleep schedules, right? Understanding what time it is for her, what time it is for him. And on the right image, we can see him say, "What games do you like to play? I'm like a massive game player. That's usually how I meet people or make friends, to be honest." In the next couple of images, we can see Saikuno talk about the game he was playing, which was Outlast Trials, saying that maybe Mal could carry him. She would agree, give him her Discord, and then wonder, "Hey, are you done soon with your stream? Because I'm getting tired." She hadn't slept all night. She was pulling an all-nighter. He'd apologize for taking so long, and then he'd say that he has a convention to go to. So after making her wait for like a few hours, he would say, "Hey, listen, can we just play tomorrow? I have a convention to go to." And they would agree, "Okay, let's play after the convention." This is what would lead us to the next section.
Let me get a punch. Let me just feel a punch.
Interest in where I live. For context, this is still the same day as the first conversation, only moved to Discord in a few hours apart since I'm EU time zone and he's US time zone. So yeah, these DMs have the timestamp of 10 a.m. EU time. The last DMs we can see on Twitter were at 9 a.m., so this is barely an hour later after they added each other. Mal would continue by saying, "Things started out innocently enough with him inquiring about fun things to do near where I live, such as aquariums and conventions, TwitchCon EU specifically. I'd like to point out that I said we could go on a date to make up for Valentine's. He not once expressed to me any discomfort or that he wasn't single. So yeah, this is how it goes. If someone expresses interest in you, right, you typically tell them fairly quickly that you're already in a committed relationship. You don't just let things slide. Mal had no reason to think that Sykkuno was already taken. Otherwise, he would have said something after she proposed a date. He'd ask, did they have an aquarium? I'm a big fan of aquariums. She'd say, there's artists in Amsterdam, could make it a date, you know, to make up for Valentine's. He'd only reply with, a what? Lol? Continuing on with his innocent persona, but he'd never say, oh no, actually, wait, like, I want to meet up as friends. I'm actually in a relationship. Not once. The next section will be titled, Following My Private Instagram. He would also follow my personal private Instagram that is only available to my IRL friends and family while using his official Sykkuno account. So here we can see an image of Sykkuno following her with her personal account name being hidden since it's personal. The next section will be titled, Making Plans to Meet Me in Person. So bear in mind, this was the next day, okay, the 16th of February. They had started talking on the 15th. He followed her on the 14th. The document would say, in this 2-hour Discord gaming call, the same day as our first conversation, Sykkuno made plans to meet me IRL. It was set to be the same weekend as Dokkan 2026 since he was flying over anyway to attend TwitchCon EU. Going to the aquarium would be our first date. I also learned that there is a 15-year age gap between us. Right, so look, I personally spoke to the victim about this. I asked, like, would that usually have been like a red flag or a turnoff? She said yes. But the thing is, this is Sykkuno we're talking about here, right? So she made an exception because as you saw in the intro of this document, she used to watch him in high school. She genuinely looked up to him. To say that she was starstruck was an understatement, and that's exactly what he was counting on. Now, while keeping that 15-year age gap in mind, this next section definitely hits different. It's titled, Making Plans to Move In Together. These messages would be on the 17th of February, 2 days after they started talking. It would say, with Sykkuno, our relationship moved so incredibly fast it almost felt like a dream. It was like he could make anything I wanted happen, and as someone as prolific and successful as him, I had no reason to doubt anything he said to me. These screenshots show that Sykkuno and I were intending to adopt a cat and have me possibly move into his house. I told him we couldn't get a cat yet due to me not being a US citizen and possibly having visa issues. Keep in mind, this conversation happened 2 days after the first conversation. So in this first image of these set of DMs, we can see them talking about pets in general, right? About how he might be allergic to certain pets, about how his current dog doesn't trigger his allergies. So they start discussing the prospect of getting a cat. Mal would say, I mean, if I'm there anyways, we'll have to think of a name, no? To which Sykkuno would say, yeah, but I don't know if I can take care of it myself. Mal would say, or were you just gonna name it Cat? He'd say, you'll have to stay to help take care of it, lol. To which she'd say, I'm okay with that, though I don't know how that would work with me staying there. I can't stay forever either, you know, because I'm not an American citizen and I'll also probably have to go back as well. Because I mean, I hope at least that I can go back to studying end of this year. And like in general, everything is so expensive. And then he'd say, oh yeah, that's true. Okay, maybe we can get a cat together another time then. Besides, don't you already have a cat? Which she'd say, yeah, but they're my dad's. Also, did you finally order the food? And he'd say, oh, I see. So you wouldn't have to bring them if you just moved somewhere. To which she'd say, no, I guess not though. I'd miss them so much, so I definitely have to get new pets. So barely a couple days after speaking to each other, Sykkuno's out here discussing getting a pet together, taking care of it, raising it together, and looking into the possibility of her maybe moving in together with him one day. This was as he was sharing a home with his girlfriend. The next section will be titled, Lying About Being Single and Dating History. In this screenshot, Sykkuno said he has only ever had one relationship his entire life. I would eventually find out that that was a lie and that he had been dating and living in the same house as his girlfriend for years and that I was not the only girl on the internet that he spoke to on a daily basis. So here we can see DMs of them discussing this topic. Mal would say, I mean, you've been in relationships before. It's not like it's your first relationship, referencing what they might potentially have going on. To which he'd reply with, I don't know, lol. I've only like actually dated someone once and they broke up with me, so yeah, I think I'm just not very good, so it's probably just a me issue. To which he'd say, did you like never do anything for your ex, like at all? To which he'd say, I mean, I think I did. I don't think she thought I did, so yeah. But I mean, everyone has their own way of what they want, so it's important to be like, are you getting what you want? And if you're not, I totally understand. Mal, of course, would want to inquire as to what he was saying. Like, what do you mean you think you did? Like what? But he'd never specify and he'd always keep it vague, keeping up this persona that he crafted, the one that was allergic to love, that had no idea like what was going on with women. This would lead us right into the next section titled Sexting. We texted every single day, and these interactions would be charged with flirting and suggestive topics. I would send him suggestive pictures and audios, and he would confirm that he'd touch himself to them. Additionally, he'd always act flustered and inexperienced, keeping up the illusion of his on-stream innocent persona. We'd also regularly talk about date ideas and things we'd like to do together in the future when we'd meet up IRL. Topics that are usually discussed between two adults who are clearly romantically interested in each other. On top of texting, we also called almost every single day, even after he'd stream for over 8 hours. We talk and play games regularly. One thing I'd noticed is that every time we called and when he spoke, he'd be whispering and never fully use his voice. His excuse was that it's because he was tired after a long stream, and I didn't really find that to be suspicious. Using your voice for 8 hours in a row does exhaust it after all. I now realize that he was quiet because his girlfriend lived with him and he didn't want her to hear. So in this first set of DMs, we can see them discussing things to watch together. Sykkuno saying, let's watch something. Mal would say we should. He would say, let's watch a cooked Netflix dating show because those are funny, or both. And Mal would say we should. And do you also want to play games like Helldivers or Overwatch or etc.? In the next image, we can see them discussing the spicy audio that she sent him at some point. He'd say, you do too. She would say, yeah, like in that audio recording I sent you, to which he would act flustered over and say, huh? Oh my God. Well, yes, you really sounded cute in that too. To which she would say, did you ever re-listen to it or only that once? In the next screenshot, we can see them discussing going on a gym date. Mal expressed to him how much she enjoys going to work out at the gym, and so Sykkuno would inquire about what a gym date looks like. This is when they discuss it more. In the next two set of DMs, we can see them talking about more spicy topics. Mal would say, you get flustered so easily. And then Sykkuno would say, because I'm not. I've never done like this kind of thing before, lol. To which she would say, and? You don't like it? He'd continue saying, which is crazy because I'm older than you, but like I haven't really dated much, so. And then Mal would say, so? You have me now. He'd reply with, my XP bar is low, but no, I do it. I've never gotten something like this before. Yes, I like it. It's so good. I can't wait to use it later. As in, I can't wait to grill my sausage to it later, whatever she sent. To which she would reply with, you know, I've kind of wondered if you've ever touched yourself while watching what I send you. To which he'd say, what?
Commitment, mag-gym. Sana ganito na lang kadali. Parang Grab Unlimited.
Why would you wonder that? She'd say, well, because they're spicy pictures and videos. Of course, I wonder if you put them to use. And then he'd say, I'll definitely put this one to use. She'd say, so you've never done so before? And then he would say, maybe in all caps with a flustered sweating emoji. This is when she'd put her foot down and say, I want a yes or no. And then he would say, yes, of course I have. How could I not? Overall, these DMs were a balance of spicy and wholesome, just like what you'd expect when two people are romantically interested in each other, saying goodnight to each other, inquiring on their health. He'd compliment her on her appearance. She'd say, I love getting compliments from you. Good morning, handsome. What are you up to? But this romantic interest wouldn't just be expressed with words. No, for Sykkuno, he'd make sure to express it financially, too. This is what would lead us to the next section, titled Sugar Daddy. Less than a month later, Sykkuno would randomly ask for my PayPal account in DMs. He'd then waste no time in sending me money unprompted, something that I'd later realize was simply a behavioral pattern that he'd employ with women he'd express interest in. I want to reiterate that I have never asked him for his money, and he did this of his own volition. He bought me both a gym jacket, linked below, and Resident Evil 9, because I had expressed interest in that game. Here we can see two payments, the first one sent on the 28th of February 2026, 81 euros, and the second one being 200 euros on the 5th of March 2026. The sender was the business, Sykkuno. He'd innocently ask for a PayPal username on the 28th of February. He'd start off the conversation with, you still aren't asleep either? To which she'd say, I fell asleep, woke up again because I'm having trouble sleeping. He would then say, oh, well, good morning. And what's your PayPal so I can buy you games later? She'd say, huh? Straight to the point. Jesus, I need to update my email to my PayPal because it's my old name from before I rebranded. When he would send her money for a gym jacket, at some point she'd say, want me to send it back? To which he'd say, no, I wanted you to get a nice gym vest, lol. Especially because it seems like you're really passionate about working out, so I thought it'd be nice. And then you can remember me when you're wearing it. I thought it was a cute idea. She'd buy one, she'd wear it, she'd send it to him, and she'd say, I wore it with the green set because I know how much you like green. She'd also make a tweet on her account while wearing it, saying, this gym jacket is literally so comfy, the muscle mommy arc will be real. So up until this point, this was Mal's experience with Sykkuno. The next section is titled A Calculated Pattern of Love Bombing and Manipulation. And this is where we talk about Elphilia's side of the story. The document would say, after speaking to Elphilia a few days ago, we were able to corroborate our experiences with Sykkuno and learned that we were both victims of this. We had no idea that he was talking to both of us at the same time. Sykkuno is known to send hundreds of dollars to the girls he wants to get involved with. This screenshot is from when he took my friend Elphilia to Paris during the 2025 TFT tournament, along with sending her 500 euros to help her move into her new apartment. You can clearly see that this was sent from his business email's PayPal account. So unlike the other image that was supplied by Mal, here we can clearly see this is Sykkuno at hotmail.com sending her all this money. A substantial amount, around 1,550 euros, all under his business email. Here are the DMs in which we can see that he offered to pay for her flight to TFT Paris as well as all the food and hotel fees there, pretty much taking care of her financially during the entire trip. So this starts off as far back as April 2025, with Sykkuno telling Elfilia, I'm probably going to Paris later this year for sure, I'm not sure on TwitchCon yet, I'm afraid I don't know enough people. He'd say, you should come to Paris when I go to it, is it close? To which she'd say, Paris is pretty easy to go to, yeah, since it's in the European Union. He'd say, you better hang out then when I go there. She'd reply with, I'll have to see because I know nothing and no one there and it's expensive, to which he would say, I'll pay for it, don't worry. She'd say, whoa, really? You do that? And then he'd say, yeah, of course, and all the food. She'd of course be ecstatic about this and say, you'd have to deal with my annoying ass though. And he would say, but you gotta choose places to eat, like the restaurants. And she'd say, deal. One day later, he'd reiterate, you're fine, you never have to pay for anything, don't worry, lol. How much is the flight usually from Netherlands to Paris and back? Because she lived in the Netherlands at the time. I think I'm going for like a TFT tournament or something like that. On the 10th of December 2025, we can see her saying, I'm boarding now, see you soon, to which he would reply with, see you soon, you have the hotel info, right? Since they were going to share a room. This brings us to the next section titled Elfilia's Experience. Elfilia would talk to Sykkuno on and off for the span of 5 years. During that time, she had absolutely no idea that he had a girlfriend in the 5 years that she had known him, and on and off flirted with him. Anytime she would bring up the topic of his love life, he would give the response of playing too many games and not going out enough to meet women to date. So bear in mind, she knew him since like 2021, back when he was like the most desired man on the entirety of Twitch or the streaming space. And even with all that flirting, he never once mentioned the relationship he's been in since 2021. So this was in the beginning of his relationship as well. So in this next set of DMs, we can see Elfilia saying, also, I have a question for you. Why are you single? Like, how? To which he'd say, huh? That's a crazy question, lol. I think it's a combination of like playing too many games. To which she'd say, why crazy? Why is it a crazy question? The guy was desired by anyone. Even after his viewership had fallen down a little bit, he could still DM anyone and get them to date him. It didn't make sense. The document would say, same calculated behavior and patterns, using his nerdy gamer boy facade to lure women into a false narrative. In this next set of DMs, Elfilia would be saying, you're cute. You're this sweet to all girls, or am I just lucky? To which he'd say, wah, lol, only to the ones I think are cool. So as we can see, Elfilia is just starstruck. She can't believe this. She feels so lucky that Sykkuno, the guy who's desired by everyone, is giving her attention out of anyone else in the world. This is the effect he had on people, and he knew this. And just like with Mal, he would follow her personal Instagram with his official Sykkuno Instagram page. It's genuinely like a deja vu to what he did with Mal. Like, it's the same patterns. The guy had a playbook, and he knew how to put it to use. The document would continue. Here is proof that Sykkuno was in Paris for the TFT event around this time too, directly from his Twitter. So here you can see this was posted around the 13th of December 2025 when he was in Paris. In this first tweet on the left, we can see him taking an image of Lily Pichu, who was also there, as well as him retweeting one of TFT's tweets saying, ultimate bragging rights have been secured at the TFT Paris Open. This is them announcing that Sykkuno's team had won, confirming that he was indeed there. The next page of the document would show us a set of DMs between Sykkuno and Elfilia. The date would be the 3rd of March, 2026. So this would be 3 months after they had met up and hooked up. And this would be as he was talking with Mal. He'd say, oh my god, I was playing World of Warcraft, I saw this player, it reminded me of you. That's because that player had a similar looking name. She'd say, oh, you got reminded of me? That's cute. To which he'd say, of course. Oh, I was gonna ask, were you planning on going to like Offkai or anything like that? That's a VTuber Expo, right? To which she would say, I wish, but unfortunately I can't. My rent is now 800 euros per month and I'm living fully off of my savings, so I canceled all my travels for the year. The document would say, to add even more salt to the wound, after Elfilia's Paris trip, and 2 weeks after he had started talking to me, saying things like how he wants to move in with me and such, he would message Elfilia asking her if she'll be at Offkai. This is proof that he'd be talking to more than one woman at the same time, planning a hookup for every event he went to. He was doing this while giving me the impression that he wanted something long-term, and all while also having a girlfriend since 2021. Elfilia and I weren't friends until I found out that he was cheating on his girlfriend. This is when we both got in contact with each other and shared our stories. She deserves the world. This section would end with both Sykkuno and Elfilia talking about random topics, and then at the end of this DM chain, we can see Sykkuno saying, how was your day? To which she would reply with, awful. Spent the whole day crying. Crying right now. Why do some men cheat? I'll never understand. The document points out that this is ironic, seeing that Sykkuno is a cheater himself. So as you can see, when these two women spoke to each other and shared their stories, they were shocked. Shocked to know that they were being used so casually, and shocked to know that this man was in a relationship. But how is it that he did this for years with no consequences? How is it that there are many Elfilias and Mals out there? with no one saying a thing. Well, they kind of did, which is what the next section is all about.
This is the most relaxing game in 2025.
Most relaxing game.
It's titled Rumors and Broken Friendships. As I mentioned in the intro, no one made a public statement before because they never had sufficient evidence. Sykkuno would always talk about the most explicit and sensitive topics in voice calls or in person, never leaving a paper trail. This was all intentional. Rumors still managed to spread. Many content creators, both big and small, would vent to their friends about his behavior. Behind the scenes for many, he'd be known as a predator who regularly took advantage of smaller and or vulnerable content creators. The reason why Sykkuno would abruptly stop hanging out with certain people throughout the years is because of this predatory behavior. However, he'd managed to keep enough influential friends around him to legitimize his position in the space, especially seeing that many of those friends were women who would have normally stood in solidarity with any sort of victim, making it seem like he was safe enough to trust because they trusted him enough to be a friend. As Elfilia spoke with Sykkuno, she'd tell him about rumors that she had heard from someone else, about how Sykkuno had a roster of readily available women, and how they all coincidentally were smaller content creators who wouldn't dare touch him if something went wrong. Elfilia, of course, didn't believe this. After all, Sykkuno had a calculated pattern that worked perfectly in his favor. His innocent, naive demeanor wouldn't dare hurt a fly, so why would he hurt me? So here we can see DMs between Elfilia and Sykkuno. She would start this off with saying, "I don't know, he said he dislikes you," referencing a friend of hers, and that you only go for girls that are small so you can manipulate them with your shy persona. Yet he is doing that to my friend right now. To which Sykkuno would say, "Oh yeah, I mean, I don't think that's true, but I guess people will say stuff randomly. I'm confused as to these people who think I'm going for them. I haven't really done that. But anyway, I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, like I said before, people who know me will know me, and I guess he just dislikes me, which is totally fine." She'd say, "Exactly. He did say the only reason you haven't gotten called out is because you go after small creators and they'll never expose you. If you ever need proof of anything, I have receipts, just in case he tries anything funny." Sykkuno would say, "Oh, I feel like the way VTubers are, they would love to try and expose bigger streamers. They love drama, lol. But it's not true, so I think it's fine. I don't need receipts or anything, it's fine. But I thought he was chill. I'm kind of sad he was so angry." Elfilia would say, "I know, just making sure you stay safe no matter what, love." Sykkuno would continue saying, "I mean, why is he bringing up so much anyway, though?" To which she'd say, "He's jealous of you. I'm just playing League with him, and he brought you up out of the blue." To which he'd say, "I don't think there's much to be jealous of, lol. But hopefully he feels better soon." And Elfilia ends this by saying, "He said you hurt 5 of his friends, apparently." So this was on the 22nd of December after they had met IRL, and Elfilia had no reason to doubt him, right? She still had no idea that he had a girlfriend since 2021. This is why she was still so readily siding with him. And speaking of cheating, this is what would lead us to the section, Sykkuno's girlfriend. The coincidence that would lead me to finding out the truth about Sykkuno happened last week. A popular male VTuber tried to slide into my DMs to presumably get in my pants, and when I rejected him, he immediately started to mention nasty rumors about Bao. Out of concern for her, I reached out to a mod who then connected me with Bao. The three of us struck up a conversation when I mentioned I was nervous about a date I was going on. They asked me who it was. When I said my date was with Sykkuno, they immediately told me not to go on the date for my own personal safety. Bao told me that at the end of March, Sykkuno's girlfriend reached out to her regarding a controversial tweet Bao made last year in 2025. She asked Bao if it was true that the tweet was about Sykkuno. So this tweet in question, right, if you were on Twitter back in October 2025, you would have probably seen it. It went absolutely viral, and it simply just said, "If you're an up-and-coming female content creator with a small but growing audience and a much larger and successful male content creator approaches you out of nowhere and showers you with attention on stream, in DMs, etc., don't walk, run." To 99% of people, this was Bao giving smaller content creators very well needed advice. In reality though, this was a subtweet directly referencing Sykkuno's behavior. Because the document would continue, they called, as in Bao and Sykkuno's girlfriend, and Bao explained to her that other women had confided in her about similar experiences with him. She described a pattern of behavior where he targeted small female content creators and pressured them into having sex with him. Bao then offered to connect her with these other victims so they could share their experiences with her directly, as she felt it was important to hear them firsthand. This was all discussed during a Discord call. And so here we can see a DM sent by Sykkuno's girlfriend on March 24, 2026 to Bao saying, "Hey Bao, I'm sorry to bother you with this, but I heard something recently that was a bit concerning and I thought I would just come ask you about it. I heard that there was possibly an instance of Sykkuno trying to get VTuber girls up to his hotel room to drink with them, and that the tweet you made about being cautious of large male streamers showering you with gifts and attention was about him, in regards to him doing it to one of your friends?" You know, before we get back to the document, this actually reminds me of this one tweet that was posted on Twitter back in October 21st, 2025 during TwitchCon North America, where an innocent fan came across Sykkuno in the lobby of a hotel at 2 a.m. One can only wonder what he was doing there, but as you can see, rumors are very easy to spread once you spot someone in a hotel lobby at 2 a.m. The document would continue. Bao told me that 3 days before I contacted her and her mod, Saikuno and his girlfriend were trying to reconcile after Saikuno somehow managed to convince her that it was all a huge misunderstanding. She had no clue that I, as well as many other girls, still existed in Saikuno's.
Come on there, it's time.
Let me show you around. This is the ship hangar.
Romantic and sexual life. Bao and her mod would put me in a group chat with Saikuno's girlfriend where I would share all the screenshots you see above. She was rightfully horrified and left the group chat because she couldn't stomach reading them. This is where we can see DMs in the group chat from Saikuno's girlfriend saying, "I've lived with him for over 2 years. We have been together since 2021. And on top of that, everything he's planning with you are things we have planned together and talk about and have done. I'm sorry." At this point, I wouldn't be able to imagine what I would feel if I was in Mal's shoes or anyone else's shoes that Saikuno had taken advantage of. In fact, I can't imagine being his girlfriend, hearing these rumors about someone I lived with in the same home and finding out about it this way, even after he managed to convince me that him sleeping with someone back in December 2025 was a misunderstanding. It's horrifying. This would all lead us to the final section of this document, titled "To All of Saikuno's Victims." Ever since Saikuno's viral breakout during the pandemic lockdowns of 2020 when he played Among Us, he has always carefully curated every aspect of his behavior on stream and with friends. An innocent, romantically inexperienced boy failure who looks like an anime character and sounds like one too. This perfectly curated image would attract a large audience of women, with a lot of them openly professing how attracted they are to him. He soaked in the praise and never sought to limit the most extreme aspects of his community because it made him more desirable. He understood this and would use this curated image, as well as his legitimacy in the content creation space thanks to his followers and famous friends, to seek out any attractive cosplayers and or content creators that were small enough to be starstruck by his grand presence. It would work most of the time, as he'd use the same calculated pattern that he used with me and Elphilia to lure them in, and eventually fly them out to the next convention or event that he went to with the goal of hooking up. What these many women didn't know, though, is that he'd always lie about the fact that he's single, that behind the scenes, he had a neglected and depressed girlfriend that he'd been with since 2021 and who has lived with him since 2024 in the same house. I implore the many other victims to come out about their experiences with this predator, and I end this document with a recording of Saikuno in which he admits to everything, especially with how he cheated on his girlfriend with my friend and was intending to do that with me as well. For context, this was shortly after I had messaged his girlfriend about his cheating. 30 minutes later, he would ask if I was free for a call. As his girlfriend was crying downstairs, he somehow chose to prioritize someone that he barely met 2 months ago. She's referring to herself. I pointed this out during the call. Here's the link. So the link isn't here right now, but obviously it will be by the time this video comes out. It's okay though, because I have the video. And if you're wondering why you should watch it here, well, it's because Saikuno's voice is so damn low. The guy was whispering as if someone was after him with a gun. They could barely tell what he's saying. I actually bothered to add subtitles. This whole recording is 17 minutes long, and as the document stated, he pretty much admits to everything. Watch.
Hello.
Thomas?
Hello.
So?
Well, pretty much know most of it.
Yeah? Like what?
Know what?
No, you can tell me.
Well, wasn't very honest.
Oh.
About sing.
About what? You have to speak up a little bit. Your mic is cutting out.
Sorry, always happens. About being single.
Wow. I'm just...
Tell you how it happened.
Uh-huh. You're still gonna have to speak up a little bit, by the way. You're still cutting out a lot.
Sorry. You know how I talk quietly.
Yeah, but you never talk this quietly.
I'm sad.
It's the actions of your... Well, it's the consequence of your own actions, I suppose.
I know.
Mm.
So basically, I was in a very happy relationship.
Doesn't sound like it, but sure.
Well, let me finish.
Continue.
I was in a very happy relationship a long time ago.
Long time ago. What, like 2021?
I don't know the exact time, honestly, but a long time ago. Then it got a lot less happy.
How so?
I don't
Wow, this
Fully
is so
don't.
hard
She
to
just
watch, bro.
stopped
Holy shit.
hang out with me that much, and
Stop hanging out with you. She lives with you.
yeah, I mean,
You're gonna have to speak up. I can't hear a single sentence that comes out of your mouth. You there?
yes, I'm here.
Okay, I'm just asking because you went quiet.
Anyway, so I was very, very happy,
Mm-hmm.
and at some point it wasn't so happy.
Fuck did I even get
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly when, but like we stopped spending time together. We hadn't done it together for years.
Or what? I couldn't hear that part.
I said we hadn't done anything together for like years,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just very sad and alone. Didn't feel wanted at all.
Mm-hmm. So you slept with Elfie in Paris.
Yeah.
And then
To be honest, sometimes I actually have no idea what's going on until I open Monday.com. And boom.
you flirted with me. And were telling me how you wanted me to come visit you in Vegas, and how you wanted to go on a date, and how you were serious about me. And how you really meant it, and how you wanted to go get a cat together.
Yes.
Yeah. Why? Why didn't you just break off the relationship then?
Yeah, that's a problem. Why?
Because a combination of remembering how it was, some part of me hoping it would go back to that, and
Well, obviously it's not gonna go back to that if you're actively cheating on her. It's only gonna get worse. I think that's really on you, bud. And I know you're smarter than that.
I'm not.
I mean, for fuck's sake, you're a 34-year-old man. Yes, you are. Stop acting like you're a child.
Don't think that's what I'm acting like, but
I mean, you say you're not smarter than that, but you are. You're a 34-year-old man. You just chose to do it.
Okay.
You knew damn well in the back of your head that it wasn't gonna end up well.
yeah,
Years gap.
but it's complicated.
4 minutes 15.
It's really not. Cheating is just bad. She hasn't done anything to ask for it to be cheated on. It's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah, but she relied on me to take care of a lot of things, and I still cared about her.
Okay, that doesn't mean that you do that because you wanted to, not because she was like holding it against you or forcing you to.
No.
Exactly. So there's still no excuse for you to cheat on her.
Not saying there was one, just explaining why it happened.
The only reason why it happened is because she just chose to do it.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know why you decided to lie to me, because you know damn fucking well that lying especially is like a big thing I do not tolerate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was fine about the Alfie thing, because I was like, okay, he didn't know me before that, right? But then I find out you've had a girlfriend this entire time. Do you realize how fucked up that is? Because not only were you... Because, sure, you didn't lead Alfie on. Alfie acknowledges that you didn't lead her on, right? Because I've talked to Alfie. I'm friends with her. I've been friends with her before I even met you.
Okay.
Like, she acknowledges that you didn't lead her on. You led me on, though. You did lead me on, though.
Yeah.
You gave me all these fancy-ass promises about, oh, we're gonna go on a date when you can visit here. What, so you could cheat on your girlfriend again? So you could sleep with me so you could cheat on your girlfriend again?
That wasn't...
What were you intending with that?
Come on, stop the cap. You know, come on, stop
I
the
thought
cap.
it was going to, be over.
But what?
Like, I thought that was gonna be the end of that.
The end of what?
My previous relationship.
You were gonna break up with so you could date me, or what?
Well, like I said, it'd been a long time where, like, we hadn't spent time together. Hadn't done anything in years.
Wow, this is hard to watch, bro.
Mhm.
Damn.
And in my head, I thought that
This
was
is wow. This is a long ass.
at some point be over.
What? I couldn't hear you.
I said, I thought that meant that was going to be like the end of it.
So you were already moving on before you even broke up with her? Were you intending to break up with her, or were you just waiting for her to break up with you?
No, I don't know. It's
So-
just a really weird
I just
mix of like,
want to understand this. So what was your intention with me? Like where was I in this whole thing? Like, were you intending to date me after her? Like, were you intending to just ditch to go date me?
I mean, I guess for me, it felt like it was already. Oh.
But that's not what I asked. I'm talking about me.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
You were thinking to just ditch her and then date me. What, were you gonna do the same thing to me? I'm sorry, but like, you're not really selling this whole relationship thing really well if this is the type of relationship you uphold.
Stop with the ads.
It's fine. Not trying to sell it.
I can tell.
Just trying to explain what's going on.
Yeah. The thing is, if I never reached out to Bao, because I didn't even reach out to Bao about you, right? I reached out to Bao about because he's lied behind my back to a bunch of people, and I was not okay with that. And then started lying about Bao. That's when I reached out to Bao. I became friends with her roommate, and then I was talking with a little bit back and forth, and then you came up in a topic, and then she told me you had a girlfriend, and that your girlfriend has been venting to Bao this entire time about how you gaslight her into staying, you make her feel bad anytime that she like wanted to leave because you cheated on her, and she knew that you cheated on her, she just didn't know who. Because you never told her that it was Elfie, you just told her that you cheated on her in Paris. I think. I don't know if you told her, but I knew she knew.
Yeah, I did tell.
Why? Why go through all this trouble?
Because didn't know how to
I mean, for God's sake, if the only thing why you even stayed with her is because she relied on me for a lot of things, you can afford to take care of her for a little bit before she gets back onto her her feet. Like, at least don't put her through the trouble of like telling her like, oh, like I'm still gonna be with you, like telling her that you're still her boyfriend while actively cheating on her every single day.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I should have just said how I felt.
Like, you could have just deadass, if the only thing that you were concerned about is the fact that she relied on you for things, you could have just supported her until she got back onto her feet, so she could support herself. You know?
And it wasn't just that.
Then what else?
Somehow hoping it would go back to how things used to be.
Well, I also already told you, cheating is not going to make it go back to how it used to be.
It's a lot easier to say that way.
It's the truth. It's the harsh truth. Nothing is going to go back the same way that it was if you're going to cheat on someone actively.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm going to change.
You're going to change what?
That's it. Everything.
What do you mean that's it?
Just gonna change that.
You're going to stay with her?
You're right.
But honest to God, I feel like the poor girl's been through enough. I don't think you should have to sit there and keep doing this to her. Because I was in a group chat with her while you were on stream. And this girl's absolutely f***ing distraught because of the shit that you've done to her. The shit that you've put her through. Like, genuinely. Do you know how much that fucks someone up? Like, you already cheated on her once, and she decided to trust you still. She decided to stay with you, despite the fact that you already had cheated on her and admitted to it. And what do? You go onto Twitter and go find the next girl to flirt with. Like, if anything, honest to God, I'm not even mad at this point. I'm just disappointed. I'm really disappointed.
Yep, that's fair.
Because she's been crying to Bao about it. Bao's been sitting there, like, comforting this girl, trying to tell her, hey, maybe you should leave him. Because this isn't okay. This really isn't okay. You're putting this girl through mental strain. Every single day. That you continue to be with her. While you're sitting there having fun playing with your friends. Be so honest right now, Thomas.
I didn't think that Sykkuno is 34. It's actually old.
So you think, I mean, you might be right.
Yeah.
Right. She is
like,
the fuck?
If it is money that she doesn't have, or if it's a job, or if it's family, or blah 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 blah.
Gave her a lot.
Yeah, well, there, exactly. Just help her back on her feet until she can support herself, and then just leave the girl alone. Because she deserves better than that. Because you cannot sit there and be like, I love her, but do all of this shit to her, and continue to...
Kling 3.0 just landed on Artlist. A true game changer for AI video creation.
To let her stay in that situation.
Well, one part of that wasn't true.
What?
I think the feelings faded.
Well, then you should just let her go. Instead of just sitting her there, wasting her time.
Okay, well, anyway.
And also, why'd you get on the call with me when right now she's upset? I know she lives with you.
I already talked to her.
Yeah, you should be there to...
I told her I'm going to talk to you first.
You should be there to comfort her. She's the one that you cheated on.
Oh,
I'm going to be doing that. I just wanted to settle this first.
This is not settled. I'm beyond upset with you. Like, genuinely beyond upset with you.
I mean, that's fine. By settled, I mean, like, that's it. Like,
bro, just say sorry.
What's it?
And leave.
Probably never talking again.
She won't forgive you.
You and me?
Don't forgive
Yes.
you, but it is what it is.
What? Why?
Is that not why?
What is why? I'm still upset with you, but you didn't cheat on me. You can still talk to me and be, like, make up for your actions. Don't get me wrong, because I always am there for second chances. But I never will forgive you for cheating on her. That's that. There are a lot of girls that are upset with you, by the way, because Alfie's not the only one that has hit me up.
Yeah, that sounds like you've heard things.
Yeah, and you lied to me a lot about that too. A lot.
Here's what's happening on it.
'Cause, how big was the roster again?
I don't think I ever had one of those.
I mean, maybe not at the same time, but you sure do hop around.
suppose so.
Yeah. All I care about right now is that he's okay. Keep me updated on that.
I don't know if that's a possibility.
You can keep me updated on how she's doing. You can keep me updated on when she moves out, because I don't think she should be living with you anymore.
I don't think you need me to do that.
I mean, yeah, I care about her. Like,
Yeah, she can do that.
True. I'll just reach out to her then. But, yeah, no, just... Like... You go talk to her. She needs you right now.
Yeah, okay. Oh, bye.
Bye, Thomas.
Shortly after the call, the last thing Mal would ever say to Sykkuno would be, "I'm beyond disappointed in you." So look, according to Mal, there are countless other victims. It is completely up to them on whether they want to come out with their side of the story or not. For now though, we can confirm at least 2 different people that were completely misled by him as he cheated on his girlfriend so comfortably. In those 2 instances, we can see him also using the same playbook, the same tactics. Sending them money, making them feel special, following their personal Instagram, wanting to meet ASAP, to hook up, everything. And I think one thing that personally struck me was how only 30 minutes after his girlfriend found out about his cheating and probably confronted him, he chose to run upstairs and prioritize Mal, someone he met 2 months ago, all while his girlfriend was crying downstairs, gutted, heartbroken. There's a reason people say with great power comes great responsibility, because once you have this power that Sykkuno possessed, you can so easily take advantage of others. So as a content creator, you have a very clear choice, and unfortunately, Sykkuno decided to be the worst person possible. I wish all the victims in this travesty the absolute best, and I also encourage them to speak out. When it rains, it pours. And right now, the first drop has hit the ground. Sykkuno and anyone else who seeks to take advantage of their position need to be held accountable. And for anyone who grew up watching him during quarantine, who looked up to him, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, ruining whatever ideal image you had of him in your head. In any case, if more victims decide to speak out, then I will most likely stream me reading all of them on my channel later on. For the time being though, please, if a larger content creator reaches out to you, even if you don't make content, please always be extremely skeptical and know that they probably don't see you as the most special person in the world. They've probably done this to many others already. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I really, really appreciate it. If you want a healthy alternative to an energy drink, then definitely use the code MUJIN at GamerSubs for 10% off. And if you want exclusive content like high quality art and exclusive yapping videos, then definitely check out stacked.com. It's like Patreon, but better. I love you so much. Platonically. Come on, platonically. I'm not going to be like Sykkuno, and I'll see you in the next video whenever that is. Mwah!
Bam. Okay. Wow. I mean,
スを走らせてくれます。やりましょう。力がってお疲れ様です。トレーナーさん、ありがとうございます。大切に使ってくださいね。ありがとうございます。大切に使って体が。
ここは負けられない。
Shit.
もう少しでした。
ここは
I'm
負け
gonna
られない。
lose this. There's no way I'm losing with the stats. The
私だ
fuck?
けの景色。
Alright, I'm gonna take a pee.
Going over a group.
Ah.
Google Doc that just dropped 1 hour ago on Sykkuno. Now, this is very interesting. I don't know who Himomal VT is, but a lot of VTubers are in their comments backing up her story, as well as I've heard that this Google Doc has many bits of proof and evidence, and that's what we're looking for. Remember, here at Tectone, we don't give a fuck what people are saying. We only give a fuck what people can prove, because nothing else truly fucking matters. Because if you live your life by what people say and not what they can prove, well, not really a good life to live. So we're going to read this entire Google Doc. We're not going to skip over a single goddamn thing. We're going to talk about the whole thing. And if you're enjoying this content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell for all notifications. And join me on rumble.com/Tectone. I stream every day at 9 a.m. CST, and I know you will enjoy it. So let's go in here. I want to be as fair as possible. As much as the drama goblin in me really wants to just like fucking fiend over this shit, this is some serious shit. Google Docs are some serious shit. I have no urge to make Sykkuno look any worse. I have no urge to talk about this fucking VTuber any more than it is. I also see Kitsunero vouching for these stories, and I trust Kitsu a lot, but I'm going to be very fair. I will hear their story, and it might be a fine story. Maybe it is. We will go through over all of the proof and evidence that they have, which they have provided. I will give my judgment. However, I will also wait for Sykkuno to give his side of the story as well. So if you want to be up to date for the Sykkuno response, which I'm assuming is going to come very soon, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Let's get into it. On Valentine's Day of this year, I was followed on Twitter by Sykkuno. I thought it was amazing that such a big content creator even knew I existed, let alone followed me on social media. He had been my role model and someone I looked up to for a long time, ever since my days in high school. My experience in Sykkuno was I played Minecraft with him for about 30 minutes. It was funny. But then I had this guy called Brandon Steenbergen, and he would just hate watch Sykkuno next to me in college every day and yell at his phone about how big of a faggot he was. So that was my experience. However, what I learned about Sykkuno after that day would make me regret my decision. Sykkuno isn't the kind, soft-spoken character you see on stream. He's a serial cheater, liar, and manipulator who used his status to get what he wants from as many women as possible. More specifically, one who are smaller or up-and-coming content creators, knowing that he can take advantage of them. Now, this is very obvious. For a lot of creators, what you see is not what you get. The majority of, oh, this guy's so cute and wholesome, are usually the worst people possible. And the people who are assholes will all be real. Do you actually think they can get worse in their on-stream persona? If you don't know what an on-stream persona is by now, if you don't know that all these people who want to act squeak on and go into
your journey won't be easy. But you
to the next, that's perfectly fine, right? That's perfectly fine, okay? I'm probably going to Paris later this year for sure. That's unfortunate. I mean, maybe, but I'm scared. Lol, I can understand that. I'd probably be two. I only know two people and the rest I've never met before. What? That is scary. Lol, but I might. You should come to Paris when I go. It's close. Paris is easy to go to. Yes, it's EU. You better hang out with me then when I go there, and I might go to TwitchCon maybe. I'll have to see because I know nothing and no one there and it's expensive. I'll pay for it, don't worry. Well, really, you do that? Yeah, of course, and all the food. You have to deal with my annoying ass though. Mwah, ha, 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 ha. Jesus. But you got to choose places. Deal. I'll annoy you so much though, lol. I'd be like, Kuno, let's go out to get boba. I'm hiding behind you whenever you talk to people though, lol. Ugh, Jesus, I want to fucking shoot myself. I'm boarding now. See you soon. See you soon. You have the hotel info, right? You're fine. You never have to pay for anything. Don't worry, lol. How much is the flight usually from Netherlands to Paris and back? I think I'm going for like a TFT trip or something like that. A man saying they can provide for you. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you think there is something wrong with that, I had a moderator who needed a place to stay. A male moderator. A male moderator. And for 3 years, I just took care of this guy. For 3 years, I let him live with me. I got him food. I didn't ask for rent. Okay? For 3 years. Because that's what I do for my homies. I am very fortunate in the position that I'm in. If one of my homies needs help, I'll do that. And by the way, and I'm just going to be honest, and I shouldn't say this, I really shouldn't. I've had a moderator that had issues with their pet. So I sent them $10,000. That way they can get it taken care of. And that way they wouldn't have to worry, right? I've also given my chat, my community, over $1 million in support over the 8 years that I've been a content creator. I am just a guy that likes providing for people. It makes me feel good to be able to help people with their lacking financial situation because I understand how hard it is. I understand how hard it is to make it in today's economy. It's hard. I've even given my moderators a pet, a free pet. I gave one of my mods my fucking cat because he liked it. I gave another mod one of my cats because they bonded Laro over 3 years. And they're still happy as can be. I gave another moderator my snake. Well, okay, not my penis. Like, I had a pet snake. Oh, that sounds so bad. I had a pet snake. And I gave it to Nate because he wanted the snake. And I said, sure, if you want to take care of it, go for it. I'd love to, because the only thing that I care about is my pets having the happiest life possible. And they send me update photos all the time. You know, I even run a clips channel where I give my moderators 100% of the proceeds after tax. Right? Like, I just like making sure that I'm very fair, and I would describe myself as a generous man. I don't mean to glaze too much. I don't mean to glaze myself too much, but like, you can't guilt people who are in fortunate positions, because a lot of content creators have a lot of fucking money. I feel like it would be weird if they weren't offering to help financially, especially if you've expressed that you're broke. But that's just me. I understand that I try to help a little bit too much sometimes. All right, I'm boarding now. See you soon. You never pay for anything. Don't worry. Alfia's experience. Alfilia would talk to Sykkuno on and off for the span of 5 years. During that time, she had absolutely no idea that he had a girlfriend in the 5 years that she had known him. Is there proof of this? On and off flirting with him, and anytime she would bring up the topic of love life, he would give a response of playing too many games and not going out enough to meet women to date. Also, I have a question for you. Why are you single? Like, how? That's a crazy question, Law. I think it's a combination of like playing too many games. Why? Crazy. Same calculated behavior and patterns using his nerdy gamer boy to facade to lure women to false narrative. You're a cutie. You're this sweet to all girls, or am I just lucky? Wow, lol, only the ones that I think are cool. I mean, to be fair, he did state that he is sweet to all girls that he thinks are cool. If you don't read this as a warning flag right here, if this isn't a red flag to you, I mean, you literally just asked, are you sweet to all girls? And he says, only to the ones that I think are cool. Like, honestly, if I didn't get a no, just you, baby, I would have stopped talking to him. To be completely honest. Like, bro literally just admitted that he's a player. He said that. Keep going here. Here's proof that Sykkuno was in Paris for TFT around this time too, direct from his Twitter. I'm about to win so many prizes with Lily Pichu. Sure. Ultimate bragging rights have been secured at TFT Paris Open. There's Sykkuno. Yep. Kuno, Alilia, Wicked. Oh my god. I was playing WoW. I saw this player reminded me of you. Oh, you got reminded of me. That's cute. This isn't okay. Now hold up. Now here we go. 303 2026.
Hold up.
Look at this. 305 2026. Now there is an overlap. Now, this, let's read these messages. This is the first overlap that we've seen. This is the first overlap. Okay, here we go. You got reminded me, that's cute. Of course, I was going to ask, were you planning on going to Offkai or anything like that? This is obviously expressing intent to meet up. I wish, but unfortunately I can't. My rent is now 800 pounds per month and I'm living fully off my savings, so I cancel all my travels for the year. Okay. So this is clearly showing, I think this would confirm Sykkuno's a player. Now, I want to make this very clear. A lot of content creators are players. Let's be fucking real.
Being a player is alright, I guess, if you don't have a fucking girlfriend. You can have fun if you're fucking single, but if you're in a relationship, then GG's then.
Right.
Holy shit, is that a stab? There's no way that's Tecton's stab. Holy fuck.
I don't even need to name names.
Damn.
Okay? Listen, Extra Emily has a death note of the fucking male streamers' penises that she's fucked and sucked. Okay? Let's be completely fucking real. Right? Cinna made it her entire personality to flirt with every single male streamer on the platform in order to garner an audience. Okay? Let's be fucking real. Okay? A lot of streamers are players. They are. I'm not going to cancel someone for being a player. Now, a cheater, fuck you. Right? A cheater, fuck you. A player is what it is. Okay, to add even more salt to the wound, after Alfea's Paris trip and 2 weeks after he had started talking to me, and that's up to you. That's up to you. Completely up to your opinion. For me, dude, Jesus. I would never live my life like this. I don't do that. Okay, I've never been a player. I never want to be a player. You guys can probably tell I have a history of picking one woman and fully committing to them, right? That's what I like doing, okay? I don't enjoy this. Let me talk to 15 different women at once, right? I'm ugly, so I can't do that. But hey, maybe if I had a 12-inch Johnson and I was a 10 out of 10, maybe I'd do it. But I'm ugly, so I don't get that luxury. To add even more salt to the wound, after Alfea's Paris trip, and 2 weeks after he had started talking to me, saying things like, wow, how he wants me to move in with me and such, he would message Alphilia, asking for being an off guy. This is proof that he'd be talking to more than one woman at the same time, planning to hook up for every event he went to. He was doing this while giving me the impression that he wanted something long-term, and while also being a girlfriend since 2021. Alphilia and I weren't friends until I found out that he was cheating on his girlfriend. Where is the proof of girlfriend? This is when we both got in contact with each other and shared our stories. She deserves the world. Okay, Kuno. OMG, my friend just asked, said he's going to like a VTuber anime convention in Germany after. Oh, I heard about that. This is, okay, February, same overlap with Mal now, okay? So we do have a Sykkuno scandalous player ordeal here. I'll be there from Thursday to Monday. Arg, I fell asleep, no worries, morning, hi, how was your day? Awful, I spent the whole day crying right now. Why do some men cheat? I understand. Ironic. Good slide, good dunk. That's big. Rumors, once again, 6 pages away. I have still yet to see, that's 2025? That is 2025! Good catch! Okay, this does not matter. No overlap. Okay, and I will say, being completely fair, was trying to meet up with another woman, asking if they're gonna be at off guy. No express interest of sexual intercourse. Okay, gonna be totally fair. Some people are probably gonna be frustrated at me being too fair. Rumors and broken friendships. As I mentioned in the intro, no one made public statement before because they never had sufficient evidence. Sykkuno would always talk about the most explicit and sensitive topics on voice calls or in person, never leaving a paper trail. This was all intentional. Rumors still managed to spread. Many content creators, both big and small, would vent to their friends about his behavior. Behind the scenes for many, he'd be known as a predator. Whoa. Predator who regularly took advantage of smaller and or vulnerable content creators. Well, let's be real. If you slid in on him and then he had sex with you, that's kind of on you, right? Because like you engaged it, you know what I'm saying? Like he's not out here messaging random people. The only thing we've seen is you hitting on him hard as fuck, saying you want to be a Valentine and go on dates with him, right? So let's be completely fair here. Predator, that's a little bit crazy. The reason why Sykkuno would abruptly stop hanging out with certain people throughout the years is because of his predatory behavior. However, he'd managed to keep enough influential friends around to legitimize his position in space, especially seeing many of those friends were women who would have normally stood in solidarity with any sort of victim, making it seem like he was safe enough to trust because they trusted enough of him to be a friend. As Alphilia spoke with Sykkuno, she'd tell him about rumors she had heard from someone else about how Sykkuno had a roster of readily available women and how they'd all coincidentally were smaller content creators who wouldn't dare touch if something went wrong.
Someone's calling. Okay. My sister just
Alphilia, of course, wouldn't believe this. After all, Sykkuno had a calculated pattern that worked perfectly in his behavior. His innocent, naive demeanor wouldn't dare hurt a fly, so why would he hurt me? All right, 2025. Once again, 2025. I don't know if he said he dislikes you and that you only go on for girls that are small so you can manipulate them with your side persona, ZZZ. Yeah, he's doing that with my friend right now. Oh, yeah, I mean, I don't. I think that's true, but I guess people will say stuff randomly. Yeah, ZZZ. I'm confused as to these people who think I'm going to have... I'm confused as to these people who think I'm going for them. I haven't really done that. But anyway, I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, like I said before, people who know me will know me, and I guess he just dislikes me, which is totally fine. Exactly, ZZZ. He did say the only reason you haven't gotten called out is because you go after small creators and they'll never expose you. Small creators have everything to gain and nothing to lose. This is a bullshit narrative. This is bullshit. I want to dispel this. Small creators have everything to gain, whereas large creators have everything to lose. Small creators actually have more power than big creators. because it is so incentivized to cancel some with a large audience in order to garner that. So yeah. Plus, if you're small, you already have nothing to lose besides potential. Whereas if you're large, you have something to lose because it's realized. Hopefully that makes sense. Now let's keep going here. All right. I feel like the way VTubers are, they would love to try and expose bigger streamers. They love the drama. Lol, very true. But it's not true, so I think it's fine. I don't need receipts or anything. It's fine. But I thought he was chill. I'm kind of sad he's so angry. I know, just making sure you stay safe no matter what, love. I mean, why is he bringing me up so much anyway, though? He's jealous of you. I'm just playing League with him, and he brought up right out of the blue. I don't think there's much to be jealous of. I have no idea, but hopefully he feels better soon. He said you hurt 5 of his friends, apparently, ZZ. Sykkuno's girlfriend. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's see if there's any meat to this story whatsoever. 38 minutes later, we are 31 slides deep. Let's see if there is anything to this burger or if it is a nothing burger. Here we go. Sykkuno's girlfriend. The coincidence that would lead me to finding out the truth about Sykkuno happened last week. A popular male VTuber slid into my DMs, presumably to get in my pants, and when I rejected him, he immediately started mentioning nasty rumors about Bao. Out of concern for her, I reached out to a mod who then connected me with Bao. The three of us struck up conversation. When I mentioned I was nervous about a date I was going on, they asked me who it was. When I said my date was with Sykkuno, they immediately told me to not go on the date for my own personal safety.
I used to say, if I hear AI one more time, I'm gonna lose it. But Monday.com is super easy to use and knows how to do AI right. My team quit going through endless documents ourselves. Monday Sidekick handles that now, pulling the crucial info and then prioritizing based on whatever we need. So stuff that takes my team hours is now done before they even open their laptop. I use it for insights and action suggestions constantly, especially on those back-to-back meeting days.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I don't trust Bao's word at all. Bao is a very frequent virtue signaler that will piggyback on the back of any type of cancellation post if it can make them seem like a better person. But if there's proof to this, then great. But I'm not going to trust Bao's word. Bao, in my opinion, has negative credibility. The VTubers that have the most credibility in the space, where I actually take their word at face value, are Silverveil, Nyanners, Shy Lily, are probably the three with the most credibility.
I'll just go to the recorded.
He somehow chose to prioritize someone that he barely met 2 months ago, as I pointed out during the call. Here's the link. Let's hear it. Let's see. I'm ready. 17 minutes, 5,000 views. This is Sykkuno admitting to everything with the screenshot that this is Sykkuno in the call. All right, here we go, boys. This might be uncomfortable. This is juicy. Let's get into it.
This is juicy. It's crazy.
Hello.
Thomas?
Hello.
His name is Thomas?
Oh?
Oh. Pretty much know most of it.
Oh my god. Oh my god, this is so bad. Oh, this is so bad. Okay, the Google Doc was awful, and that Google Doc was terrible. We might actually have some meat here. Oh shit. Is this proof? Yes, this is proof.
Yeah? Like what?
Know what?
Is this AI? Holy shit. Tekton is fucking funny, bro.
Wasn't very honest.
Oh.
35%.
Sing.
Fine though.
About what? You have to speak up a little bit. Your mic's
Fine
picking up.
though. Never thought
Sorry,
about it
quite
though.
happens.
Oh.
And I just wanted to tell you how it happened.
Uh-huh. You're still gonna have to speak up a little bit, by the way. You're still cutting out a lot.
Oh.
Sorry. You know, I talk quietly.
Yeah, but you never talk this quietly.
I'm sad.
Tell me that.
It's the actions of your... Well, it's the consequence of your own actions, I suppose.
I know.
Mm.
So basically, I was in a very happy relationship.
Doesn't sound like it, but sure.
Well, let me finish.
Continue.
I was a very happy relationship a long time ago.
Sounds like AI,
Long time
but
ago.
on the chat.
What, like
screen.
2021?
I don't know the exact time, honestly, but a long time ago. Then
Got so many points.
it got a lot less happy.
How so?
I don't fully know. She just stopped hanging out with me that
Tekla
much.
is
and-
cringing right now.
Stop hanging out with you. She lives with you.
Yeah.
Is he really 34?
You're gonna have to speak up. I can't hear a single sentence that comes out of your mouth.
She has more
So,
testosterone.
what Saikuno's saying right now is that he was in a relationship, still in a relationship, and he hates his current relationship. Okay, that's no justification for cheating. Why'd the audio cut out? What happened? I was enjoying my cringe slop. What happened? Oh, their own audio is fucked up.
Quiet.
Anyway.
Here we go.
So I was very, very happy.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point it wasn't so happy.
I don't need. I already have 3 royal kill juice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know exactly when, but like we stopped spending time together.
This one.
We hadn't done it together for years.
Or what? I couldn't hear that part.
I said we hadn't done anything together for like years,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just very sad and alone. Didn't feel wanted at all.
Mm-hmm. So
If you're feeling sad and alone and not wanted in a relationship, you know what you should do? Fucking break up with them.
Yeah, like.
Are you retarded? Are you Now, this was what I hate. As a man who's been in a relationship and got cheated on, when I tried to fucking leave them 6 times and they said no, and then after all of those chances I gave them, then they cheated on me. Same shit where he feeling it. I was so sad and alone. Then bitch leave! Then leave!
Yeah, like.
Fucking stupid ass! Like, damn! You know it's bad. When I got cheated on, I was not sad. I felt relief. I said, thank God I won't be tricked into giving this person another chance. Thank God. Thank God. Saikuno, you are dumb as fuck to use this excuse.
Slip with Elfie in Paris.
Yeah.
And then you flirted with me. And were telling me how you wanted me to come visit you in Vegas, and how you wanted to go on a date, and how you were serious about me, and how you really meant it, and how you wanted to go get a cat together.
Facts. He did say that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Why? Why didn't you just break off the relationship then?
Because a combination.
Am I crazy, or does this feel like pornographic to me? Maybe it's because they both have VTuber voices, but this feels like your yandere girlfriend catches you cheating on her and she chops off your dick ASMR. Like, I feel like there are gonna be motherfuckers who jerk off to this recording. Am I crazy here?
No, there's no way. There's no way.
Remembering how it was, some part of me hoping it would go back to that, and
Well, obviously it's not gonna go back to that if you're actively cheating on her. It's only gonna get worse. I think that's really on you, bud. And I know you're smarter than that.
I'm not.
I mean, looks like you're a 34-year-old man. Yes, you are. Stop acting like you're a child.
True. Facts. Facts.
I don't think that's what I'm acting like, but
I mean, you say you're not smarter than that, but you are. You're a 34-year-old man. You just chose to do it. You knew damn well in the back of your head that wasn't gonna end up well.
Facts.
Facts.
yeah,
Facts.
but it's complicated.
It's really not. Cheating is just bad.
True.
She hasn't done anything to ask for you to be cheated on.
True.
It's pretty cut and dry.
True. Truth nuke.
Relied on me to take care of a lot of things, and I still cared about her.
Okay, that doesn't mean that you do that because you wanted to, not because she was like holding it against you or forcing you to.
Truth nuke.
No.
Exactly. So there's still no excuse for you to cheat on her.
Not saying there was one.
Cheating right now,
Just explaining why it happened.
The only reason why it happened is because you just chose to do it.
Dude, I'm not gonna
I
lie,
don't know why you
Sykkuno.
decided to lie to me, because you know.
Sykkuno getting bitched right now, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, damn fucking well, but lying especially is like a big thing I do not tolerate.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yandere girlfriend chops your cock off. I love this. I genuinely love this.
Yeah. And I was fine about the Alfie thing, because I was like, okay, he didn't know me before that, right? But then I find out you've had a girlfriend this entire time. Do you realize how fucked up that is? Because not only were you...
It's important that she said that because she said she was fine with Ophelia shit, right? None of that was bad. The only thing was bad was Sykkuno having a girlfriend through all of this, right? That's what was bad. And that's what I mean is that Osama bin Laden still liked Animal Crossing. We like to keep it fair here.
Because, sure, you didn't lead Alfie on. Alfie acknowledges that you didn't lead her on, right? Because I've talked to Alfie. I'm friends with her. I've been friends with her before I even met you.
Why are you sitting here trying to explain because you want sympathy? Oh, no, because I feel like a lot of commentary slop tubers don't keep things fair. And I feel like they just want to say, this person did one thing wrong, which means they did 100 things wrong. I don't like living my life like that. I like holding people accountable for the horrific things that are provable that they've done, not bad things that people think they've done. Because if we get to that reality, I feel like we're all just a bunch of mindless monkeys, and I don't want to be like Rakai.
Okay.
Like, she acknowledges that you didn't lead her on. You led me on, though. You did lead me on, though.
Yeah.
Facts.
You gave me all these fucking fancy-ass promises about, oh, we're gonna go on a date when you can visit here. What, so you could cheat on your girlfriend again?
Facts.
So you could sleep with me so you could cheat on your girlfriend again?
Facts.
That wasn't.
What were you intending with that?
Well.
Facts.
I thought it was going to be over.
But what?
Like I thought that was gonna be the end of that.
The end of what?
Where the fuck is my speed?
My previous
Speed right now. Where are the
relationship.
big giga
You were gonna break up with so you could date me, or what?
Well, like I said, it'd been a long time where like we hadn't spent time together.
That's all well and dandy, Sykkuno, but you didn't break up with her. And it's crazy what you said you would have done, but you got to see what you did do. And what you did do is you flirted and said you wanted to fuck another woman while you were in a relationship with this woman. Like, let's be real, bro.
Hadn't done anything in years.
Nice. Oh, only one.
Mhm.
No, there's two.
And
Nice.
in my head, I thought
This is a 34-year-old man getting bitched by a 19-year-old anime girl, by the way.
that was at some point.
What?
be over.
What? I couldn't hear you.
I said I thought that meant that was going to be like the end of it.
So you were already moving on before you even broke up with her? Were you intending to break up with her, or were you just waiting for her to break up with you?
Cook 'em, boys. Cook
I don't
'em.
know. It's
So-
just a really weird
I just-
mix of like
The Tecton is fucking
I just
fun,
want to
bro.
understand this.
He
So
loved
what
his
was your
fucking
intention
reaction.
with me? Like where was I in this whole thing? Like were you intending to date me after her? Like were you intending to just ditch me to go date me?
I mean, I guess for me it felt like it was already. Oh,
But that's not what I asked. I'm talking about me.
Where are
Uh,
my speed cards? They
yeah,
are
that's-
absolutely fucking sleeping.
kind of what I was thinking.
You were thinking to just ditch her and then date me. What, were you gonna do the same thing to me? I'm sorry, but like you're not really selling this whole relationship thing really well if this is the type of relationship you uphold.
Facts. Hey. Chat, I mean this. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Straight up. Please listen to me. If you got with the girl because they cheated on their boyfriend to be with you, they're gonna cheat on you, bro. They're going to cheat on you. For the love of God, listen to me. If they cheat once, they're gonna cheat again. Please.
I'm trying to sell it.
I can tell.
Spitting facts.
Trying to explain what's going on.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Bro,
The thing is, if I
where
never
is
reached out to
Shida-san?
Bao, because I didn't even reach out to Bao about you,
Holy
right?
shit, where are
I
they?
reached out to Bao about because lied behind my back to a bunch of people, and I was not okay with that. And then started lying about Bao. That's when I reached out to Bao. I became friends with her room.
God damn it.
I'm assuming she's saying the hard R every single time there's a bleep, by the way. Pretty sure she's just saying the hard R.
Mate. And then I was talking with
No.
a little bit back and forth, and then you came up in the topic, and then she told me you had a girlfriend, and that your girlfriend has been venting to Bao this entire time. about how you gaslight her into staying. You make her feel bad anytime that she like wanted to leave because you cheated on her, and she knew that you cheated on her. She just didn't know who. Because you never told her that it was Elfie, you just told her that you cheated on her in Paris. I think. I don't know if you told her, but I knew she knew.
Oof.
Yeah, I did tell.
Why? Why go through all of this trouble?
Because didn't know how to
I mean, for God's sake, if the only thing why you even stayed with her is because she relied on me for a lot of things, you can afford to take care of her for a little bit before she gets back onto her feet. Like, at least don't put her through the trouble of like telling her like, oh, like I'm still gonna be with you, like telling her that you're still her fucking boyfriend while actively cheating on her every single day.
Facts.
Facts.
Boys, we've seen enough. Sykkuno a cheater, that's the truth. He's a player, that's the truth. Is he a predator? I don't think he's a predator. But I think it's fair to call him a player and a cheater. Bro's way too horny. And I would think it's pretty fair to call him a pathetic man-child. A predator, I'm not going to call him that. But let's hear Sykkuno's response. I have a feeling it's going to be an I'm sorry, because motherfucker was caught red-handed. And that's the bottom line, because Tectone said so. See y'all next time. Damn, F's in the chat for Sykkuno. Unlucky rubber ducky got caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
Bunny Station. I'm not interested in the other ones. It's kinda lagging right now, huh? We need to clean this shit up. I don't care about. Oh. Wait, what kind of our medium? Wait, I got this? I can use this. Wait, I've got this parent? Oh, this one's good though. I'm gonna... Oh, this is the one. It's not the one. This is the one. Stamina mile, power, stamina. I'm gonna end the stream. GG's.